Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about relationship and we said that relationships are very important to every aspect of our life. And in course of exploring the subject of relationship, we also said that the fundamental unit which creates relationship is conversation. And we also talked about the behaviors which are required to make any conversation a complete, fulfilling, responsible, productive conversation. And those behaviors are number one, listening. And we did cover the subject of listening in the last video. Now, today we'll be touching the second behavior which is required to make conversations fruitful, and that behavior is of respecting. The third behavior which we'll touch is of suspending, and the fourth behavior is of voicing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please understand that look, all these behaviors do not work in isolation, okay? So, if I listen well but I do not respect, there could be a problem. If I listen and respect but my ability to suspend is low, then also there could be a problem. And the fourth behavior, which is the behavior of voicing, if the fourth behavior is also not being completely adhered, then also there could be a problem. So the point which I'm trying to say is that look, all these four behaviors of conversation, and whether it is listening, whether it is suspending, whether it is voicing, or whether it is respecting, all these four behaviors have to have a rhythm, okay? And they all have to be there. Then only the conversations would become really effective and fruitful, okay? So we did talk about listening, and we talked about why is it important to listen and why we do not listen, okay? Now going to the point, which is the point of respecting, okay? So what comes in your mind the moment you say that look, I respect this person or this person respects me, okay? Are you limiting the meaning of that to the person greeting you well and you greeting the person well? I don't think that's what is the complete meaning of respect, okay? We generally associate that look, I've been disrespected or I've been respected, and we have our own definition of respect and disrespect. Nothing wrong about those definitions, because those definitions have got a background, okay? So I come from a particular family, I come from a particular culture, I work in a particular organization, and all these environmental elements play a very important role in we carrying a particular definition, okay? So you might have a definition of word respect, you might have an image that look, what does it mean when you are respected, okay? But I'll tell you, the word respect is an interesting word. It comes from a Latin word which has which is respect, okay? Now, if we look at this English word respect, there is a re and there is a spect, okay? And please recall, when you use word spect, it has something to do with looking, okay? So for example, you have a word which is called spectacle, okay? So my spectacles are through which I see, okay? So the re-inspect is re-inspecting or respecting, okay? Which means that you are ready to relook at the different elements of the reality, or you are ready to re-observe, okay? And that is what is called respect. And when you are ready to relook or when you are ready to re-observe, that means that you have not closed your perception or your ability to relate with other individual or a group within the framework of the definition, okay? So if you are ready to relook or re-observe the definition which you have about an individual, and you show that openness, then only you are respecting a person, okay? So you are ready to listen again, you are ready to view again the experience which other person has, the variety the other person has, till the time you're open to the other person, and till the time you have an intrinsic openness to re-observe, ladies and gentlemen, you are respecting. Okay. Now the question is that, look, how do we respect? And I told you that we respect as per the definition which we have, the idea, the assumption, the values, the cultural background which we come from. All these things play an important active role in making a definition of the word respect. And I think the whole experience gets limited if it is experienced only within the context of the definition. So, respecting is an interesting word, okay? You may listen, but you don't respect a person, you're not ready to revisit, then it will so happen that over a period of time, your listening is going to get impacted because your definition of respect is not complete. So I was reading it in one of the book that there is a community in South Africa, and these people, wherever they meet, they don't greet the way we generally greet or the way the Western world greets. We say that, look, hi, how are you? And the person responds that, look, he's fine. Whether he may be fine, he may not be fine, he may be bothered, he may be stressed, but then the mechanical response which is going to come is that, look, I'm fine. While this community, whenever they see a person or whenever they separate, what they say in their African tribal language, that I am seeing you, okay? So it is not about how are you and I'm fine, it's about I am seeing you, okay? And please appreciate the value which is involved in this social transaction. The value is that, look, you exist because I see you, and every time I see you and every time I tell you that, look, I am seeing you, I am making your existence live on this earth. And that's the way they connect with each other. The spirit here is that, look, every time you take my name, you make my existence live on this earth. Every time I take your name, I make your existence live on this earth. Imagine if you are outside somewhere for 6 months and there's no one around to take your name, okay? How would you feel? What will happen to you? So, ladies and gentlemen, this I am seeing, and whenever you are in any conversation, whether it is in office, whether it is in the colony or it is in the family, you got to be always open to re-observe, re-look, and appreciate that, look, the person who's talking to me is making my existence live on this earth. If the person is not there, my existence is for a moment not existing, okay? What a wonderful stuff, okay? So every person who comes, it's not like, oh shit, now this guy has again come to my cabin. Look, if he has come to your cabin, he makes your existence live. If people who come to your cabin, if all those people stop coming to your cabin, I'm sure that, look, after 2-3 days, you would have an uncomfortable feeling that, look, what has happened that people don't drop in now. So that will start bothering you, okay? So why not appreciate that every person who comes, and the principle which backs up this behavior of respecting is a principle of coherence. What I mean by coherence is that, look, we all human beings are connected and we all are related, and the coexistence is always in favor of all of us, and there is a coherence which is there. How do I see that coherence, and how do I build a relationship on that coherence? My conversation with that feeling and responsibility of coherence, I'm sure the entire experience is going to be very different. So, ladies and gentlemen, people, when they express their view in the conversation and we get into a feeling that, look, I'm not respected, or the other person gets into a feeling that he's not respected, it generally happens because of a definition. It generally happens because of the flight and a fight syndrome, which we all are very naturally wired. And we need to figure it out that, look, when is it that I get into a fight and when is it that I get into a flight, and why do I get into a fight and why do I get into a flight? There is always a pattern. There are certain words which will create a sort of a trigger. Let me tell you 3 sentences which I generally follow, and these 3 sentences make life really simple, and especially respecting people, okay? So we do not respect, because I told you about our own judgments and our own definitions. So let's look at these three statements, which are very interesting three statements. So statement number one is that, look, I am more than my point of view. So I have a point of view on a certain subject, I have a point of view on a certain plan, I have a point of view on a certain product, but I am more than that point of view. Similarly, the other person is also more than what his or her point of view. While we relate the person with the point of view, the point of view is different and it is less than what the person is, and hence reinspect, relook, and get deeper, because human beings and their experiences are far, far more than what our ability is to see, especially in few initial instances. Okay, so I am more than my point of view, the other person is more than his or her point of view. Statement number two, nothing human surprises me. Okay, so when you come with this premise that, look, no behavior of human being surprise me, whether it is a positive behavior, whether it is a negative behavior, and especially I'm making this statement with reference to the negative behaviors which really bother us and which really, gives birth to that trigger. Okay, so human beings have jealousy, human beings get into politics, human beings get into shortcuts, human beings get into gossip, they get into, backstabbing. All these are human behaviors which have been existing for ages. Okay, you go to Ramayana, or you go to Mahabharata, or you go to any other epoch, and you realize that, look, these behaviors have been there and these behaviors will remain. So why do I get so upset and why do I get so bothered about these behaviors? Oh, cool, nothing human surprises me. Okay, if this person had ditched me, yes, people ditch. If this person has not lived up to the commitment, well, that's fine. I mean, people do not live up to their commitments. It also happens. Okay, so I keep my definition very, very wide and unlimited as far as the human beings are concerned, that, look, nothing human surprises me. Okay, so first sentence which I said was that, look, I'm more than my point of view, and second sentence is that, look, nothing human surprises me. And the third sentence which I want to share with you, which again gives me a lot of space and flexibility, is that, look, wherever you are in doubt, give the benefit of doubt. So whenever you are in doubt about yourself, give yourself a benefit of doubt. And wherever you are in doubt about somebody else, give that person a benefit of doubt. Trust me, life becomes simpler. Okay, and your ability to respect also goes up many-fold. Those who respect, they get respect, and those who go by definitions, they also get impacted by the definitions of others. Okay, so why to limit this world? Okay, or why to limit the experience? Why to limit the relationship? Okay, and why not respect? Respect your child, respect your family members, respect your colleague, respect your subordinate, and respect means do not conclude about them. Stay open, human beings surprise. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.